because social media can warp your worldview. So if I look at someone and I hear a news story about how an OF model is now worth $1 million, all of a sudden your world model is different because you thought that hard work and dedication gets to the top, but you just heard an OnlyFans model get to the top by just taking 2 pictures. And then all of a sudden your world model views changes.
Good luck to my ancestors.
Hope they're well.
Hope they're well.
Great little caveat.
Very good caveat.
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really like the song at the beginning, but it grew on me. Really grew on me.
I'm the same actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Diddy either. But
I liked it at the beginning, but now I'm sick of it.
Really? I find it funny because...
Sick of the beef, like, move on, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That I didn't even make a connection between the beef. I don't know anything about it.
Hater, though. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's one. He's one.
Oh,
He's one.
but I love Drake.
I like Drake too. Like he performed the song on. What song is it?
Yeah.
And he performed it at this as well.
Yeah.
Like Drake's just come back.
I hate how everybody's on Kendrick's nuts though, bro. It's just like...
Yeah. I didn't realize that people like that though.
Yeah, no.
I thought everyone just loved Drake. I'm really out of the whack, but I think Drake's funny because he's an absolute cornball. And that's funny.
Those photos are crazy, but how does he get all these photos linked of him doing sus ass shit?
So funny, but...
Yes, bro.
Bro, it's funny.
Nah,
And he's just got the, like... When he has, like, the pimple thingers and he's got the stars on his face and he's looking...
got fiddled by D? That's amazing to say.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know, bro.
That's what next week's podcast.
Yeah, I think we got Drake coming on, actually. And need a Maxwin tour.
Did you see Jaden?
And Pop! No!
Wait, Pop.
Yeah, he said... And Diddy's gonna come on the episode. No! No!
Alright, send it back.
Yeah, Jaden Smith. Yeah, that at the Grammys. And he's so serious. He's so serious about it as well.
Was there a meaning behind it? Because I definitely did not get the meaning.
Yeah, I don't get the... If they... I don't know.
I saw some guy like filming himself. He goes, "Yo, Jaden." He goes, "Yo." He goes, "You look retarded."
What did Jaden say?
You look retarded. And I'm like, I can't say
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
And then,
Well, what's the...
I won't say it.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Thanks, bro." But also, like, I don't know, bro. I reckon these guys, Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber, well, it's all conspiracy, but, you know, I reckon the Didlo got to him.
Justin Bieber. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know Jaden Smith.
No, I saw some videos about
We
Jaden.
don't know about Will Smith, you know, being on that side, so...
I actually didn't, but okay.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, D was giving it to him. Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows what Will was doing to Jaden, and that ruins movies for me as well. No.
Oh my goodness. The fact that you
I
just...
just haven't been a big fan of Will Smith.
That's never...
It's just some of his movies, like I liked Iron Legend anyway. It's kind of out of it.
Yeah. Realms.
Yeah, but, yeah. Did you see the video of them kissing each other? Jane and Justin. Like...
Jaden and Justin?
Yeah, just Jaden came behind him and got a little touchy and stuff, and then Justin full like passionate with kissing on the cheek.
Oh, cheap.
But it was passionate.
I mean, I feel like you passionately kissed me on the cheek.
Yeah, but...
Whoa! Kissing your teeth?
But Jaden's actually free, but... We know
Yeah, he's a little zest. Yeah, he's a little zest.
Zesty and all that.
What an intro.
What did you try?
Welcome to the SCULPTED podcast.
Back onto the topic. The question is, how destructive is social media? First thing I was thinking was, is social media slowly killing our creative minds? Like we were talking about it in the previous episode, the quick dopamine hits from scrolling that you achieve from reels that never allow you to fully engulf yourself in a project with prime concentration, the constant head noise from trending sounds and memes that offer no rest for the mind, leaving little room for critical thinking and unique individual ideas. To me, fewer clients and more attention would result in a better business model, and I sort of apply that to this idea about social media being destructive, that can be applied in growing your creative minds. Fewer thoughts circulating around your heads and more attention on less ideas that can arouse your brain to create its own more efficiently.
Can you expand on the business model?
Like, I mean, like, you know, if you've got too much going on, you can sometimes get lost in the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having fewer clients sometimes and having more attention.
Is this an analogy or is this?
This is an
Okay,
analogy.
got you.
Yeah. So fewer clients and more attention on them.
Yeah.
If that's the case and you're getting overwhelmed, obviously produces better results.
It's like what we were speaking about before with like if I was to give 100% each day, soon enough my 100% becomes 60%.
Exactly.
And the focus that you had on the original reel will be much different to the 999.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like most people's creative minds are being diluted from all of this influx of, it's knowledge, but, it's not from yourself, and you're not creating your own ideas, Someone who was, in my opinion, the most creative mind ever, Leonardo da Vinci.
Big ups, Hope as well, friend of the
Big
pod.
ups, hope as well.
We can get him on maybe next month, I think. We got about... yeah. Set it in your calendar.
Someone like that, I don't know. To have a mind like that, I feel like a bit more silence.
Yeah, I would agree. There's a level of... I want to say this with a bit of a nuanced perspective, but there's also fault to it, which is like... There's a level of like being on social media which helps you navigate today's society. To where it's like you need to almost understand what's going on, because I'm relatively detached to knowing what happens in the world.
But why? You've got the news, you've got all that.
But I also don't watch the news.
Well, like, that's not social media, but you can jump on the news, you can jump on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, YouTube is where I get everything.
Would you call YouTube social media?
I mean, it's just not short form.
It's media. It's social, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't really text comments.
It is social media, but it's a different way of digesting the content. It's long form. And like...
Well, let's take YouTube out of the equation.
Yeah.
You've got the news, you've got YouTube. You can just use a flip phone. You got calls, text. That's all you really need.
Yeah, I mean, for a period of time, I actually was using 2 phones, and then it was always like, main phone would be for texting a specific amount of people, and then the other phone would be the social media phone, and I'd leave the social media phone at home, and then I'd just take my actual phone with me, and just manage calls that way.
Actually.
Then?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I saw a video, I forgot about it. I saw a video the other day of this boxer, world champion boxer, who was in an interview and then he got a call, his phone was buzzing, he pulls out like a flip phone and then
Gets the antenna out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, not like that.
That'll be fun.
Like this was his this was
You said that you changed your team after that.
Oh, this is a high performance podcast.
Say it's cool.
I feel like he's made a point of doing it.
Yeah. I'm just in it now.
Yeah, I feel like he's made a point of doing it.
Wait about it.
It's an old school phone. That's an old school phone. I want to get an old school phone because just cut out the bullshit.
Is that like bullshit? I cut out all the bullshit. Like no X, no Instagram, no Facebook.
No need for that. It's all distractions.
But you said that you changed your team after that. So.
And so this is a world class boxer who's made it to the top, and he's like, I don't know. It's when you see someone that's already made it, it just makes you think, well, maybe that's an example of what you should be doing.
Yeah. When I was playing football, I think social media didn't help when you're playing football. There's no positive that social media could help with. But now that being a business owner, there is a high degree of where I'm finding that my ignorance of like what's happening in the world could hinder my business model, because I don't know the best way to find an audience. I don't know the best way to what's happening at the moment with the social media trend, what's happening with AI, these types of things. There is a degree of which is helpful, but you have to control it. And that's like where my deliberate de-optimization can come into play. Where on a Sunday, if I am going through social media, it's also kind of helping me, because it helps me understand the world around me a little bit better, because I am so far out from what the world actually is. Like my world model is highly skewed, and it's probably not 100% true, which is like most people's world model isn't actually correct. Do you know what I mean by that? Like the way that you look at the world is different to the way that Alfia looks at the world. Because Charlie, you might believe that hard work and dedication gets you to the top. Alfia, you might believe that I've really been working hard my whole life and I'm not at the top, therefore that's not true. And then I could think that hard work and dedication can help you get to the top, but it's not a guarantee. And all of our worldviews are different. and we all operate under our own worldview. Yeah?
I was just going to say, so how does this tie into the social media?
Because social media can warp your worldview. So if I look at someone and I hear a news story about how an OF model is now worth $1 million, all of a sudden your world model is different because you thought that hard work and dedication gets to the top, but you just heard an OnlyFans model get to the top by just taking 2 pictures. And then all of a sudden your world model views
I guess anything
changes.
just sort of warp your worldview.
Yeah.
Book is warps your worldview.
Anything can.
To somebody, and you realize that, you know, some of their points are valid.
Yeah. But social media is just such an easy way to get to it, because to speak to a person, to read a book, there's so much activation energy that it takes to actually get to that point. Where on social media, through the algorithm, you will naturally be fed things that will alter your worldview, even if it's wrong or right.
Well, like that world-class boxer said, do you believe that there's no need for that? Like, what is the need to have your worldview
Oh, well, there is...
constantly change? Like, is there no need for that?
No, there is a need for it. Because if I was Amish and I'm like thinking, how do I survive for my family? And I'm like, I don't have any social media, I don't have any phones, and I think that I've just got to make a really nice house and a really good farm. But all of a sudden, the world around me, guess what? They're growing things in labs. They don't need farms anymore. And all of a sudden, my worldview, because of my lack of awareness, is now hindering me and hindering my chance of survival. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, that's such an extreme...
I mean, but the Amish don't really... They're so isolated. Not even TVs. And
Stop taking my... don't take it so literally. Like, that's just an example.
You could say at WF for you that social media is sort of the only way to sort of stay in touch with the world now.
I wouldn't say it's sad, because it makes sense. Because it's everyone's on it, right? Because there's pros and cons to it. I actually have a bit of an issue with people who are like constantly giving to charities, in terms of like, if you constantly give to a charity and show them what a better life is without it, there's a level of where ignorance is bliss. And if you go to like an island in Vanuatu and you give them all of this technology that allows them to see what other people are living like, all of a sudden they have a massive fear of missing out. And it's like, I actually don't have a complete formalized opinion on this yet, because I haven't got the complete mental model of it. But I do see how if you go to a charity and you give a whole heap of money, and then they then give, you know, phones to all the kids in Africa, all of a sudden all the kids in Africa are really ungrateful for what they have. And like, that's not a good way to work your life, because for the kids in Africa, they also can't really ever get to the point where they know anything about that, just because of their situation. And it's like, there's a level of relativity that social media, with everyone in the world having access to, all of a sudden, if a kid in Africa who's starving and fighting for survival then sees a whole heap of people on the other side of the world who are doing so much better, don't have to worry about anything, now their relativity is completely warped, because they see the heights of joy, and their height of joy is like killing an animal.
Well, that's what social media does.
Yeah, it really warps the perspective.
Yeah, it does. And that's another thing I was going to get to. With not only like, you know, gratitude and all that sort of stuff, but also like, you know, romance and romantic relationships, you know.
Oh, I know all about it.
Yeah, well, this guy's a professional, you know.
Yeah.
He's a good person to talk to.
I was kidding.
No, I was kidding.
Okay.
No. Anyways, but no, I was just gonna say so I was talking how, you know, social media depersonalizes the relationships, and like you said, unrealistic expectations in that. So, you know, you see all these posts, #couple goals, and then if you're in a relationship, or you see people just posting all this stuff, and, you know, their boyfriend or girlfriend took them out to dinner or took them to, you know, SeaWorld or whatever, and then you sort of start putting those.
That one was oddly specific. Did that?
No.
Oh yeah, see what?
And then you look at your girlfriend and you're like, oh, you start, you know,
Yeah, compare
on
it.
them when you really don't know what's happening
Yeah,
privately in that relationship.
because you're only seeing the highlights.
Exactly.
I'm not going to post me, you know, down in the ditch thinking, why is my life so hard? I'm only going to post me when I'm like in the casino and I'm like up 10 grand or whatever the kids say, or whatever. I don't know how the kids say it, but yeah, you're only going to show your highlights, which gives you a warped sense of reality again.
So what do you think? Is social media killing romance?
Oh, I would say, I mean, I say this out of ignorance, but I would assume that it has to be killing it to some degree. I think that's probably evident in like the divorce rate as well, to where it's like the grass is always greener on the other side. And this is biblical as well, actually, where it says marriage isn't about finding the perfect one. It's about just making it work with someone. Do you know about what I mean by that?
I don't know the exact verse, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like about finding the true love of your life. That's like, there was only one.
Well, I've heard, and I don't know if this is the exact verse, but I've heard it takes 2 people to get married, and takes 3 people to stay together, to stay married.
So you're saying God is in the middle.
The person is, yeah, God is in the middle. If God's at the center, you know, there's no way of breaking the bond like that. And I see, I've got evidence of that with, I'm lucky enough to be raised in a family where my parents have always
kept God at the center.
Gone back, kept God in the center. And if there are problems, they always go back. They sort the issues out. You know, they pray, and you know, they come back stronger than ever. And you know, my dad's been a great role model in terms of how to treat a woman. And you know, obviously he's got 3 daughters. You know, Valentine's Day comes with, you know, roses for everyone.
Yeah.
Not only just my mum, you know. And my mum's been a great example on how to nurture a man and how to, you know, be, and this is going to sound condescending, but a great helper. You know what I mean? And they just help each other out in different ways, you know.
Yeah.
And then that's just put out, you know, the structure for what I want in a relationship for me. And I think that's because there's always been someone at the center, behind the scenes, working and, you know, nurturing it behind the scenes.
We talk about Proverbs 31, woman.
Oh, yeah. I don't know the exact verse, but it's when we read it out.
No, well, we don't have to go into it, but like for context, that's like what it speaks about.
Yeah.
And yeah, big ups.
Yeah.
046. I was just reading out my phone number.
It's a bit low now. I do. I really do. Just like even I think Snapchat is just a massive thing.
Oh, get rid of
The
Snapchat.
idea of talking to so many different people at the same time. Like, I delete this and this never happened.
That's one on the left side because you always delete it and then reinstall it. You do. Show me your palms because they're red. They're red. Yeah. Okay, fair.
Nobody can see.
Charles Lander, Snapchat, I agree. If you're, sorry, wait, you probably have Snapchat still.
I do.
If you're above 18 with Snapchat, delete it.
21 or something, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm funny.
Almost. Apparently, it's 21.
Kate.
Nah, he's fresh 20.
I don't use Snapchat to like talk to girls or anything like that.
That's even worse. What the frick? You only use Snapchat to speak to guys.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because like, this is a thing when it's like a common thing now where if you're speaking to someone and you want to take it serious and things, it's like, okay, well, are you speaking to anyone else? And then most likely are.
Oh, bro, you're not even getting a personalized message. There's something on their forehead and saying it's 70 other people.
But that's the reality of the thing right now where you're speaking to Joe and she's speaking to 5 other lines. And it's just, this never happened.
He has all these options to choose from, and you have to. It's like a competition. You have to be the best on text. But the thing about text messages is so many things can get lost in translation.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You know, you can say something as a joke, and then it comes off offensive because they don't really hear the emphasis in which you say. They, based on, you know, their day or their experiences or, you know, just how they feel. They translate in a different way. Like, you'll say, oh, yeah, I'm down with whatever. Oh, yeah, I'm down with whatever.
Yeah. There's also a component on top of that, which is like, imagine this, a hypothetical situation. You're speaking to someone. They're speaking to 5 other people. You don't know about it. You're in love with this person who's just sending messages all the time. They don't even think about you at all in that way.
The one way of refreshing is such
Exactly.
thing.
Oh, yeah, I never understood that. I never understood, like, if you like someone, it's just all the attention and direction just has to be towards the whole person. I've never understood having so many pieces.
Well, then that person wouldn't like him.
It's because it's accessible as well. It's so accessible.
Well, that's how romance used to be back in the day, which is one person
Yeah. I go
that had the options, and I feel like it's just ruining.
To entertain 5 people is a full-time job back without Snapchat. Now with Snapchat, you can entertain 70 people in 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing about, you know, entertaining 5 people, how can you, like, you know, what I'm trying to say is
You've got to quickly unsend all your messages as
no.
Thing is, math though. Sorry,
No, I got the same. I lost it. But divorce rates, they say it's over 50%. That's about social media. Imagine
shout
um,
in the new age
20 years time,
when our people get.
I actually think it could get to like 78.
This is going to be controversial, but I think the divorce rates are attributed to other things, like promiscuity.
Yeah. I don't know if this is podcast appropriate, but
It's just reality.
no. But my perspective on things, if I go there, I don't want to be docile because it's not being
That's
true.
my opinion. I won't go.
Yeah.
further then.
Cosign? Just know we've got opinions, but they may not be podcast appropriate. We've got opinions. Do what that with you will.
Hey, in the comments, just let us know if
Yeah.
you want to hear our opinions.
Just let us know if you want to hear the opinions. Sculpted uncensored.
Sculpted uncensored. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But I think it's a good point in terms of how social media is really ruining relationships as well. Realistically, I think that if you are on, like, we know about my pen pal, Sitch, when I was like 16, yeah?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
So go on, just
Well,
give us
we
the
spoke about it
background.
with Jack.
No names. Just give us a background.
I don't even know the name.
Maybe I did know this.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say?
No, he knows. He was in the car when we were speaking about it with Jack.
If you was a background, you can't just say
Feel free to come.
Well, I just was always speaking to someone for like 3 years on Snapchat when I was like from year 7 to like it would have been just before I left to Germany. I stopped speaking to them when I moved to Germany.
every day for 3 years.
Yo.
You see them once in person. Yeah, sorry, it was about double.
Yeah. Also lived in the next suburb over, but would always see me outside, but I never saw them. And they'd say,
Would take photos of him saying,
and you?
and me.
Yeah, remember I showed you some photos of you from like, you'd go to 7-Eleven and I was in Germany, I would be like,
It's like a full proper stalker, eh?
borderline. But yeah, bit of a weird situation. And then after that, that's when I deleted Snapchat. I was like, you know what, stuff this. I can't believe I'm wasting my time doing this. And then, yeah, deleted Snapchat. I think I deleted Snapchat when I was in Germany. When I was 16. No, 15.
So isn't it crazy that relationships can actually spend more time communicating on social media than actually
In person. Yeah. I mean, there's a degree of that, like, it being helpful, like if you're long distance, but most people don't do that. Most people are just sending a little meme. And then a relationship becomes a meme. That's why I left all group chats. Because if your relationship becomes a meme where you're just sending messages to each other and it's just like, ha ha ha, and he's, it's not a relationship. Like, that's just, you're just sending funny videos to each other at that point.
And then, yeah, and as we were talking about before, a large part of it is like people they just want to portray their romantic relationship really highly.
No, that's a good point. Yeah.
That's true. It's all aimed at selling something.
Yeah, it's like, oh, good I have, you know, like yesterday, Valentine's Day stories.
Call them out. Names. We need social media ads. Yeah, it's Sculpted Uncensored. Then, yeah, imagine if they're like on Sculpted Uncensored and they just hear their name. Charles?
Yeah, but it's a tricky thing because it's like if you are in a relationship and you don't post it, it's like, well, what does that mean?
It's a good point. I would say that I feel like we speak about this a lot. Like the Proverbs 31 woman that in Yeshua is there for us. They will never care about that. They will be emotionally they'll be emotionally and intellectually intelligent enough to understand that there's no need to pressure someone to do a specific thing for the sake of social proof or for the sake of social media or whatever. It's very conservative in the fact of how a relationship works with no external influence of social media at all.
And you can't, I was thinking just then, you can't really blame it all on social media because if you think about it, in terms of unrealistic standards, so does music.
Yeah.
So does movies, you know.
It's
it's happily ever after sometimes.
It's actually just an intrinsic human thing to want to portray something that it's not. It's just a vessel happening through social media.
Exactly. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, it depends on people's character and the emotional maturity as well, like you said. So there's ways to work around it. It's not an impossible thing. It's like the end of the week.
Yeah. We've got to wrap it up though. I've got my meeting in a minute and Charles has got to get out of here. So let's hit us with that outro song. And in Yeshua, we'll find someone who actually is smart and they're definitely not going to know about this podcast or come from this podcast. The time is up, my time is now. You can't see, my time is now.
Just come outside for the night. Take your time, get your life.